this is a quick video on how to put in the sleep system. So you've got a few different pieces. You've got two supports either side which are going to go in between the mattress. You've also got the headrest which are already in place. You've got what we affectionately call the jigsaw, and then we're going to get a roll to put underneath Beth's legs. So the first thing is, I'm just going to lift Beth's knee up and put it inside this. So this goes with, this bit you can see is flat here, and on the other side towards Beth it's actually curved and fits around here, like so. So it's important that it goes underneath the knees, that's where it should be, to support the knees, just like that. Just make sure that Beth's pyjamas are all pulled down and comfortable. And then from underneath the bed we're going to take a roll, and we're going to put that roll underneath Beth's feet, like so. And at 10 o'clock her slipper feet things gets added, which are here. You can see this one's been taken off, done up, so we undo those, and there you go, so that this large padded bit sits against the bottom of the foot, and this does up. They're quite loose, so you do have to do them quite tight, but they just help to pull the feet into angle a little bit more, but we don't do that until 10 o'clock. And then the important bit is that we do the right hand side of the body first, and then follow it up with the left hand side. So if I show you this. So underneath the sheet is a padded layer. Underneath the padded layer is a layer of sticky sheet, and then there's another layer of sticky sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in between the two sticky layers. So I've got the three top layers in my hand. I'm going to take this padded side towards Beth and sticky part against this between the two sticky layers. I'm going to stick that in, and I want to put it right next to Beth's hip, and I want to put it as close as I can. And to do that, what I'm doing is I'm lifting up the rest of the fabric and pushing it into place, and then pulling that down. I'm going to do the same with Beth's head. Generally her head supports are in place. My hands underneath, find the layers and make sure that's in place. And then we're going to do the same on this side. What's important on this side is that when we pull up, we're actually going to try to rotate Beth's hip. So this hip will always get lifted up. So what we're trying to do is compensate for that. So sheet, padded layer, first layer of sticky, and then in between. I'm going to hold that in my hand, and then I'm going to pull it. But you can see I've lifted Beth right up to push that support against her as hard as possible. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get her hips, and I'm just going to give them a little tweak so that they're nice and flat. So just as in the chair, we're trying to keep them level. So rather than this one being further up and this one being further down, we're trying to keep them level. So they will be at a different place in terms of Beth's twist, but actually what we're trying to do is make sure that this is not, she's not just on one buttock basically. And then we're going to do the same with the headrest. And we want to make sure that the headrests are nice and tight, snug against Beth's face. We don't want to totally squish them, do we? But we want to make sure they're snug enough against your face. If they're not, then Beth's head will naturally turn towards this way, and she won't be able to turn it back necessarily. So this keeps her as straight as possible. And then the final thing we want to do to check that she's in a good position is actually look from the top and be able to say, is she in a straight line? So there will be a curve in Beth's spine, so it won't be perfectly straight, but you want to see if her hips and her head basically are in line with each other. So that's not bad at all. And sometimes you might want to just adjust her head or her shoulders and lift them and give them a little wiggle. So this stays in for the whole night. As I say, the feet come on at about 10 o'clock, and then it all gets taken out. So in the morning, the headrest is the only thing that stays in the whole time. Side supports, the jigsaw, the roll underneath the leg and the feet all get taken off in the morning. And the other thing to say before heading to bed is make sure you do a last suction And also just check the temperature of Beth's feet. So I can feel they're relatively chilly right now, but because it's not absolutely freezing, I'm not going to get a hot water bottle, but I will put an extra blanket over Beth's feet. So just feel how they are and make sure that you make sure that they stay warm enough. Now you're ready for bed, Beth. The final bits of bedtime are to make sure that all the lights go off. Lights at the top, lights over here, all go off. And then she's ready, and make sure that the bed is totally flat when you start putting this system in. So make sure that the head's not elevated or anything at all. And that's the sleep system.